Hi everyone and welcome back to Second Rank Fire. As always, I'm your host Ben, and Dave, you're back again. Hello.
Hello on this scorching heat day.
Yeah, it's warm again today. It's definitely picked up again today, which is exactly what we want in the UK, right?
I know, right? The hobby killer mojo. But we'll carry on, as they say. Typical Brit.
Yeah, it's definitely a hobby killer, isn't it? Before we even get into the rest of the podcast, it's interesting how many people have talked about it being a massive killer. I streamed during one of the hotter days, and I regretted it. I was such a sweaty mess. Yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. What have you been up to, Dave? It's been 2 weeks since we recorded. What have you done with those 2 weeks?
What have I not been doing, to be honest? I'll be honest now, my skeletons are still on sprues. The weekend just got away from me, and yeah, I think it was probably the hottest weekend in the UK, I think, that day as well. And stuff like that, and my daughter wasn't really up for building her stuff either, so we had a chilled out weekend. But I have managed to do a bit of hobby, but totally off topic. I am going to clean myself with bleach later, but whoever hasn't followed me yet, I will be taking Tau to doubles in October, and I will probably get some hate mail from what I'm bringing. But I'm going to own it.
Big change for your horses.
Oh, yeah. I went from 61 horses down to 5 models. Yes. If you want to know what the 5 models are, I will be bringing a Tau Supremacy suit to the doubles. Yeah.
700 points worth of model. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, but it's probably the biggest purchase I've ever done in GW for one model. So,
yeah, it's on the more expensive side, isn't it?
And who doesn't like a big gun Pacific Rim suit thing? You know, it's got to be awesome. But yeah, so I'm hoping I can get some sportsmanship votes. Probably not, because I'll be upsetting people's days. But I did manage to get some tickets to doubles, which is awesome. So if any people listening, give me you can't miss me. I'm one the guy with the big suit. I'm probably the only one running the tower with a big suit, potentially, at this doubles, because I think last time I saw someone run something big was the Harridan, the big flying nid thing, and he was the only person ever that brought it to a doubles tournament. It's like it's not seen before, so be interesting. But apart from that, I've just finished building Shadow Sun a couple of days ago. I'll be speaking to Matt and getting some crystals I'm going to add to the snow base. Ooh, just to break up where it's not, because where the GW's video on YouTube seems quite flat, and it's not got much character to it. So I'm going to sprinkle some crystals about. Look like I can paint them different colours I want. I can paint them green, so it sort of goes well with the blue, I think.
Yeah.
But I'll have a look at the colour wheel to see what colours go well with blue. And I've got larger crystals coming for the Riptide as well. Not Riptide, the Supremacy suit. But I want to see if I can find like a disowned Redemptor Dreadnought, so I can like put something on the base to make something like it's like being just nuked and it's like melted into the feature type thing, like buried. And I may see if I can repose it as well, more like on like a hero rock type thing. Hopefully I can get one leg up. So
tactical
it's
rock.
like tactical rock for the big suit. It's got to be done. But I've been watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. It seems to be all right. Pretty clean kit. So, but no, it'll be interesting to see. But I'm going to get my first 4 Tau done for these next 2 weeks potentially, or potentially get my testers done first. I've got 3 schemes I want to do. I've bought an extra stealth suit team to do some like 3 different colours with the same base and effect. So in my heart of hearts, I like the Thousand Sun colour scheme, like a light blue, but with the base, I can sort of see what people mean and by it's too much blue, because if the base is like it will wash out. The other scheme maybe I may do like my Six of Sigma army with the orange, which will sort of like counteract it a little bit maybe. But that's another colour scheme, and I'm not sure what I'll be doing on the third one, but we shall see. So
Heresy Thousand Suns. What about that?
No, I don't like red.
The red
like,
colour. Oh, okay. I love a red model.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I do love the red, but where I'm be going with my stealth suits, I'll be doing like the transition stage from stealthing out.
Yeah.
So I'll be doing the white thicker paint in patches. That includes Shadow Sun as well. I'll be doing the same thing with her. So it all looks, all the stealth suits will intermingle together quite nicely, and that will go with the Ghost Kill, potentially my 2K list. They'll all be themed in nicely. So I'll be doing that. Then, yeah. So it's going to be. I just don't like red. For me, it's just Farsight colours in my head.
You're not wrong. Yeah, Shadow Sun can't go around in Farsight colours. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, and I think with Shadow Sun, where if you stick the helmet on, you can sort of have it like any other character that you want.
Yeah.
And not because don't get me wrong, the head's all right, but when you're in a mech suit, you've got to have the helmet on to make it look the part. That's why I don't like the Storm Surge with the open canopy. I hate it.
Yeah.
Because I can just envision like a Marine just climbing up and just chucking grenades.
Marine just get in there, yeah.
And just done. Job done. But, so yeah, I think test the 3 colours for next 2 weeks. Get them done, because I recently bought the AK camouflage putty thing, like the black stuff.
Yeah.
So where I'm going to do the texture transition stage, so I'm going to do all that, put that on the grey model, spray it white, then block out all the white with all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then spray black. Then I can do my dry brush stage. Then it sort of kills 2 birds with 1 stone, like with my tanks, with my camo. So I'm hoping that would work, but I'm not going to sacrifice it on the Shadow Sun, but do the first 3 first before I cry if it didn't work.
No, that makes sense. Makes perfect
sense. I think that's quite a small baby steps. But yeah, I think that'd be me for the next 2 weeks. How about yourself, Ben? What have you been up to apart from sweating?
Sweating a lot, yeah. I've streamed twice in the past 2 weeks.
Right? That's good.
Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, the first one was relatively short. I think it's like just about an hour, but that was just testing my setup, and it worked really nicely. So I did one. I think it might have been this time last week actually, as we're recording. Yeah. And that was like close to 2 hours, something like that. Again, really enjoyed it. It was over on Twitch, so if anybody wants to come and join me on Twitch, go ahead. I need to work out what my streaming schedule is now. The first thing was actually to make sure it worked and it kept working and stuff like that. So, now I need to work out a schedule. So trying to work out what days I can do it reliably. But that's the plan, is to kind of at least once a week, preferably twice a week.
Yeah.
Depending on like our recording schedule and things like that. So yeah, so that went really well. The first one I started painting my apothecary biologist, because I've covered him back over. Mm-hmm. So I've started to paint him in the new custom chapter colours. And then I also picked up Travelling Man. I've done this month a 4-colour challenge.
Okay.
So if it's a 40k model, so you get a random 40k model, you get 4 colours, you get some basic materials, and that's what you can use. You can use more basic materials, you can change things up on the base, but you can only use those 4 paint colours and black and white. And so I got a Possessed Chaos Space Marine, the one with like the 3 claws stuck out on the axe. So I've remodeled it. Previously the axe was like down by the side, and I wanted it to be up as though it was like swinging at somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So remodeled that. I also got the green stuff Millie put out, and I made like a cobblestone base.
Nice.
And it's been a long time since I've got the green stuff out and done anything like that. So that was fun. It's like a stepped cobblestone base. The reason I went down that route is because the basic material I got is a mixture of like, it looks like a little green moss and then bits of stone. Okay. And I was like, well, that leads really well into like, basically I'm going to separate it. So I'm going to get a pair of tweezers, I'm going to pull the different bits out, and I'm going to do like mossy cobblestone. So that's why I went down the cobblestone route. I thought it worked really, really well with the sort of cobblestone. And then I just went to town mixing different colours. I feel like I got somewhat unlucky. I've seen loads of other people's on Instagram. Go and look it up. Almost everybody has a metallic. I don't. I got a Chaos Space Marine. It was a possessed one, so not quite as much, but I got a Chaos Space Marine with trim. And no metallic. Yeah, so no metallic. That's step number one. The other one is I got 2 different greens, which they're not a million. I got War Flesh, and it was one of the. I think it was one of the Vallejo game greens. It's quite a bright green. It's almost like a Dark Angels green. So it's like War Flesh and like a Dark Angels green. So 2 relatively close greens, yellow, purple. They were my 4 colours. Yeah. So I was like, cool. What can I do with this? So I had to stretch my brain for about 2 seconds and go, purple or yellow constitute the 3 primary colours, and that makes brown when you mix them together. It's like, cool. That means I've got brown, I've got yellow. It means I can do an LMM gold. I've got black, I've got white. I can do an LMM silver. Cool. Okay, that's a good place to start. So once I've got that, I've also got brown. Throw a load of white into it, put a bit more yellow into it. You get a nice skin colour, skin tone. So I've got that. I've also gone for like almost a Space Wolvesy blue armour.
Okay.
Which is really interesting when you mix the purple and the green together, because of the 2 different shades of them. It actually comes out like a really weird blue.
Yeah.
Put some white in it and you almost get to like that Space Wolves grey type colour. Yeah. So, yeah, when I was messing about, kind of saw that colour, I was like, that's really interesting to go from the colours that I've got to like a blue. So, yeah, that's what I've been painting this week. So, got the armour done, got the skin done. Oh, I made my own washes with it as well. That was the other thing. You can, in the challenge, you can use mediums, you can use water, stuff like that. Anything which won't change the colour, but you can change the consistency. So I made my own washers. So when I started to do skin, I was like, skin's going to be a real pain in the ass if you don't have a wash. So yeah, I've been using an airbrush thinner, which is basically it's a medium. I've been creating washers, so all the skin's washed and everything like that. So I was really keen on that. So the cobblestone, the way I do cobblestone is stippled black, grey, white in stages. There's like 5 different stages go onto it. And then I normally do either a non-oil wash or an Agrax wash, depending on whether or not I want it to be quite clean cobblestone or whether or not I want it to be quite dirty cobblestone. So I managed to make a brown wash to make quite dirty cobblestone, and then I used a War Flesh, turn that into a wash, and it becomes like a mossy green. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of greened up the cobblestones a little bit. So yeah, the armour colour is pretty much done. I've not started the gold yet. The flesh is pretty much done. There's the odd place where I need to do some of the colours first, but that's pretty much done. And I've done like a deep purple for any cloth, or like the weapon wrap, things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I've started. So hopefully in the next day or 2 I should have that finished.
Is there a deadline to this?
So if you want to do it as part of the competition closes on the 31st of July. So you can still get in on it. So if you go, there's no affiliation here, there's no sponsorship. But if you want to go to Travelling Man, it's on their main page. So if you want to do the competition, it's between the 1st of July, which obviously as recording is done. It's now out to the 31st of July. So everything needs to be in by the 31st of July. It's a 40k model. They do have another one on the website, which is like an AOS version of it. It's not a competition, it's just an open thing of you buy it. I think it's like 20 quid in the UK plus postage. You get a random model, 4 random colours, and you go for it. So I think Cryptic Cabin started it off. Can't remember, it might have been a year ago, 2 years ago. They did that October. Yeah. I think they were pretty much the first ones to do it. And then it's kind of followed on because it's quite a popular thing. So yeah, I wanted to give it a go. It's been really pushing my paint style and my painting ability.
Yeah, it's making you think outside the box rather than stay in your comfort zone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it sounds like you've definitely done your homework, like just experimenting on stuff before touching your model and stuff.
Yeah, like I didn't want to do like the straight colours because it would have been like I could have just done like I'll just do a yellow trim and a purple armour, or I could have done like green with yellow trim and doing it as almost like a death guard. But yeah, I wanted to try out different things, mix all the different colours together, see what different colour combinations I got, and yeah, it's been fun. It's been really interesting. I've used different techniques as well. So like the skin was all beige, so I primed it all black, and then I did like a base of the darker brown, and then I dry brushed over the flesh to make it look a little bit softer.
Yeah.
The army panels, they're all sponged.
Yeah.
Like I said, cobblestone, that's all stippled. So that's the other thing I've been doing with it, is trying out like different painting techniques on it as well, to give it almost like different textures and different hardnesses and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been an interesting one, just trying to sort of stretch myself. I don't expect to win anything. I've seen some of the other models going in. So Dan Heresy is my therapy, did a Votan model, and it looks amazing.
Have you seen his Chaos Berserker converted one?
Oh, it looks incredible, doesn't it? Yeah, the Corn Berserker, so nice. It looks fantastic. The colour that he's got in that red is absolutely fantastic.
Makes my red to shame. It's like,
and mine too, obviously. Yeah, like red's my beefy colour in all my new chapter now, and he's just smashed it out of the park, creating this beautiful red. I might have to message him and tell him to take it down, because I can't have it being that much better than mine.
This is insulting.
Yeah, stop being so good, Dan. You are far too talented for the rest of us. Please stop hoarding the talent.
Yeah, leave some space for us.
Yeah, no, he's done a beautiful job of that. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. Not a huge amount. Obviously, the streaming's sort of taken a lot. It's taken a lot to sort of get the setup right. And then in terms of stuff I've got coming up, like I said, I need to sort out my streaming setup. So I want to stream over the next 2 weeks again. I want to get this the challenge mini finished, and then I'm not going to say anymore. I should probably do some other YouTube stuff as well. Yeah, I've not got much of a bug because of the temperature and the humidity. I've not got much of a bug to do any like mass painting, because my paints are just drying so quickly. There's just no point.
Yeah.
I'm able to do like single models, but. Yeah, I think that's probably about it over the next 2 weeks, is just try and concentrate on that. I found sort of last week not setting myself any real painting targets kind of helped quite a lot. I was able to sort of sit down and think a little bit more. So
yeah,
that's good. I think that's about it. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see your town where they go, because I mean, everybody knows who've heard from before. I hated painting tower. I picked up tower a long time ago. I hated painting them, but I think that might have been because I was painting like the foot troops, like the fire squads, whatever they're called.
Fire warriors.
The fire warriors, yeah, that's the one. I really like their suits. I mean, yeah, like you said, like the Gundam or
Pacific Rim top style.
Pacific Rim, yeah. I couldn't get kaiju out of my brain. I was like, they're not kaiju. They fight the kaiju. Yeah, Pacific Rim. I think that look works really well, and that's what I wish the Tau Range had focused on. I don't really care about all the ethereals and stuff like that. Like they didn't go in the bin. Don't get me wrong, I like the crew and things like that as their auxiliaries, but Tau themselves, the stealth suits, absolutely love those. Stuff like the Riptide and things like that, I think are absolutely fantastic models. Supremacy, its armor is mind blowing. I can't wait to see your scheme on it. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm nervous, but I feel like with the Supremacy suit it's got a lot of curves, so I should be quite forgiving with the slap chop method with it.
Yeah, it should.
So as majority of all the exoskeleton will be like grey anyway, so it won't be that many panels anyway, as he says that. As I cry in my sleep, I was like, I've still got a lot left to do. So, for God's sake. But no, I feel like it's going to take me a couple of months. Pretty much, it'll probably take me about a month and a bit to get all that done. To not rush it. That's my main thing.
Yeah.
Because it's going to take me a while to build it. And I'll probably leave it till September potentially to fully paint it properly. Then, because hopefully, fingers crossed, the temperature will drop. Then, because I want to make time and make sure I've done it justice, you know.
It's an incredible model. It's expensive in terms of money and in terms of points, and it's an incredible model. Yeah, of course you want to do that. Yeah.
But no, I think it'd be cool. I've got a set already for my 2K, so by the time that happens, it'll probably be 11th edition anyway. But anyway, but nah. So I'll definitely keep all you guys posted and stuff. But no. So yeah, I've got a question for you. I've got a guy, Connor, who's intrigued about your custom chapter. What's the story behind it? He's recently just started listening while he was on holiday, and he thought he would ask me a question to pass it on to you.
As in, why did I start the? Okay, I don't know why I'm asking.
Yeah, what's the law behind your custom chapter?
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So the Angeli Aurori, the idea is that they are a crusading chapter of the Ultramarines. So for those who don't know much of the history, the Ultramarines had the Tyrannic Wars, and they had the old school Tyrannic War veterans. You used to be able to get the models. They were really, really cool. We had special rules against Tyranids. They were like Tyranid hunters. So the idea is during the sort of final battles of the Tyrannic War, the Ultramarines and the sort of the chapter masters sort of bunched together, and they sort of said they needed a chapter who's dedicated to hunting down Tyranids and closing off tendrils as they become obvious and things like that.
Yeah.
So the Angeli Aurori, so the Dawn Angels, the Angels of Dawn, in Low Gothic, they were formed. So the idea is as the final sunrise was coming up, everyone thought they were going to get killed off by the Tyranids, and they sort of survived, and the Legion were born from them. So that's where a lot of that comes from. So a lot of the naming convention comes from that. So the chapter is a crusading chapter, so it's Codex compliant. It's an Ultramarine successor, but it's a crusading Codex compliant, which means that it can break with the old rules of number of Marines and things like that. It's a fleet based chapter, so they don't have a homeworld. Like I say, they were formed from the Tyrannic Wars, and they kind of pulled from there. And as they move through the galaxy, they pull people from wherever they They ended up doing it. So if you read like Devastation of Baal, it's a really good example of it. At the end of Devastation of Baal, it's not really spoilers. At the end of Devastation of Baal, there's a load of people who sort of survived who then get pulled into being Space Marines. So the one they talk about is somebody who got he was doing the training. Yeah.
And he brain damage in the
he got brain damage. Yeah, so I can't remember if it was an apothecary or a librarian looked at him at the end. So Blood Angels, let's be honest, were a bit desperate, and they put a lot more effort into looking at what people were available. So that's exactly what the Angeli Aurori do. The Angeli Aurori, when they go from world to world that have been devastated by Tyranids, they pull from that population and they rebuild their numbers that way. So they're a fleet. They go around as a single fleet. They don't really break off all that much. They're a really librarian heavy chapter. And the whole idea of it is the fact that as the tendrils come out, obviously they have a shadow in the warp, and so the librarians of the Angeli are trained to focus on that shadow in the warp. So they're not looking. Do you know, like normally you can like see warp storms coming, or you can see ships coming through the warp because you can see the disturbance. What they're looking for is that shadow. So they're looking for an absence of the warp. That's what they're trained in.
Yeah.
So the chapter has a lot of librarians, so they can try and focus on that and get that from around the galaxy. And basically they just crusade. So if you think about the Black Templars, really hate on chaos, really hunt down chaos. It's the same thing but for Tyranids. So yeah, that was the original lore of the Angeli Aurori.
Awesome. Well, I hope that answers your question, Connor, when he listens to this.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Shall we start on the topic of the podcast for today then?
Yeah, you almost alluded to it a minute ago. You're going to be starting an Army 11th edition, and it's What are our thoughts for 11th edition? We let's be honest, we all know that it's coming to
subject.
We may be preempted by this, Dave. Obviously, as we're recording, we're about 2 days from all these big reveals from Warhammer.
I know, right? If it happened here, you had it here first.
Yeah, what we're about to say is going to come out about just under about a week and a half later, maybe even a week later than those reveals. So what we might say might be absolutely spot on. It might be a million miles away, assuming that they release 11th, which I think they might do. I think.
Oh, imagine the cinematic trailer. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't want to get my hopes up now. Oh.
I know. It feels like it should be coming. It's been a 10th's been around about 2. It's getting on for 2 years.
Yeah.
And so they seem to cycle through the editions at the moment about every 2 years. And so the theory is 11th edition should be around the corner. So what we're going to talk about is what we want to happen, what we think might happen as part of 11th edition, from a lore point of view. Obviously, every time they do it, they bring the lore forward, and from a models point of view, like what do we want the main box to be? Where do we want them to focus on the models first? Like what armies and things like that. What new things do we want to see? So, Dave, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Go on, go for it.
Right, I feel like the lore should. We're not in the 40k millennium anymore. We're not in the 41st millennium.
Oh, we're like the 42nd or 43rd, right?
Yeah, something like that. And I feel like there's a lot of untold or unfinished stories in the key players. Like, I say, we sort of know what's happening with the Imperium because they're getting screwed on the west side now, with the Nids coming in that side. So we know what's happening there. I like to for them to shift focus and see what the other races are doing. Like, nothing to do with the Imperium, nothing to do with Chaos. It'd be quite a cool concept of having like 2 Xenos races scrapping out. You know, we've got like the Rising Orcs potentially. Dakari are quite mysterious because you don't know what's happening with Dakari at all. The last time they had a glow up was in like a couple of editions ago. And
they've got the odd model here and there, but yeah.
It's like with Elder, it's like you sort of get like a dying race. Could they come back from it potentially? We don't know. So that's like an unending story there. And like another good example is like the Tau. Like they've expanded, and they've just nosed off a cliff, and that stops.
Stop. So, don't do anything. Yeah.
You know, it's like, and yeah. So I feel like for the starter box, I feel like it'd be quite cool to have like 2 Xenos races slugging it out. You know, I know that will never happen because Marines are poster boys, and they will always be in it. But there was a time where was there a time? No, there wasn't a time actually. That was Warhammer Fantasy Battle was when they had different races inside the starter box.
Fantasy, they used to do it quite a lot.
Yeah,
40k. It's always been war, Space Marines. Yeah.
And yeah, it's always been Space Marines in every single starter box. Just a different race and stuff like that. So I feel like they can't do Nids and Space Marines again because that's already been done.
Yeah.
So what else can Space Marines do? It seems like they're ending on Armageddon, potentially.
Potentially. That's good. That could be quite a big one.
That would be a hiatus, because poor Armageddon, there must be nothing left on that planet now. The amount of time
it's just one big orc. It's just Gazgul. Yeah. Armageddon is now just Gazu.
Well, that's the thing. Is Gazgul going for Angron? Because apparently he killed Yarrick.
That's such a fun favourite idea, isn't it? But I don't think GW have ever actually said anything about that. So I think the idea of that is
not confirmed or denied it. So
well, not even confirmed if Yarrick's dead, whether or not who killed him. Yeah. So
but I feel like it'd be nice to have a focus. Say, not because I'm doing Tau now, but like a focus of like a different race. Say like a Tau and Orcs, for example, because they've had scraps back in the past, especially the Gulf where Farsight broke off. And he was just fighting orcs constantly, and stuff like that. Or it'd be quite cool to have Votan in the spotlight for once, like the gold, supposed to be the golden child of 40k, but hardly got anything in 40k.
Oh, at all. Yeah, it's almost as bad as the Harlequin range.
But was that with the like models potentially? I'd like to think at least spice the armies up a little bit, or give some stuff to other armies that other armies don't have access to. Say like somehow there's a weird orc that's really good at shooting or whatever. just to spice things up a bit rather than just charge forward and hit stuff. Marines have got everything covered, so they can't really do that. Guard, it'd be quite cool to have a new style jump pack infantry guy or combat unit for the guard rather than having horses. It'd be cool to have jump packs for the guard and stuff that they can whiz around and stuff. I know they've got the scions from the kill team, I believe, where they all got jump packs and stuff.
Almost like Gaunt's Ghosts-esque. Which book is it?
Yeah,
Fourth book, third book, fourth book.
Oh, absolutely. So with the NIDs, NIDs are endless because you can, if you've got a wild imagination, you can be perfect with NIDs because they can just evolve and adapt and stuff like that. It's a lot of armies can have little tweaks or just add a new unit in, because I don't feel like GW have done. I think what they will say we're going to do this year, this 10th edition, is every new army that gets a new codex potentially will get a new model.
They get at least one new model.
I haven't seen that with the orcs when they came out. They stayed the same. I don't think there was a new unit for them, was there?
There might have been a new model.
It could be the guy with the big zap gun thing holding out with a cigar, maybe.
Yeah, it may well be. I can't remember what they came out with. Yeah, I can't remember what they came out with. It could have been. Yeah, it could have been the Zapid gun or whatever it's called.
So
each one's definitely had a new model.
Because I know the Knights have got a new kit. It's a Defender, isn't it? And stuff like that.
I've not looked at the new. Oh yes, no, you're right. Yeah, they do.
It's got a big shield generator.
The shield shoulder pad things. Yeah.
So with the lore, I'd like to see the Imperium really on the back foot. I know they're on the back foot now, but progress the storyline where the light of the Imperium is under threat severely. Sort of not too much like End Times when they're gonna kickstart, redo everything. Everyone's gonna burn their armies again or whatever. But make the Imperium not this invincible machine almost. Because
I think they do have a way in for that. I do think they were. So if you look at the, I think it was the Pariah Nexus books, whatever they were. So Vashtor attacked the Rock, the Dark Angels. Yeah. So for those who don't know much about Dark Angels, for a long time they had on their flagship a chaos creature called Tetulcha, I think it was called. And it was embedded into the ship. And so what Tetulcha was able to do was effectively bypass a lot of the rules around transport through the warp, and it gave them a lot of safe passage through the warp. Basically, they just had this chaos demon bound to the ship. If you go back and read some of the old 30k stuff, there is a point where she directly teleports Lion and maybe Corswain, I can't remember who it was, into the Macragge Civitas throne room. Effectively, this is when they had to break off Second Empire, Imperium Secundus. They teleport him directly into there. There's teleport blockers. There's all sorts. So basically, this demon can bypass all these teleport blockers, all these psychic stuff like that, and they literally just put the line and the it might have been the leader of the Deathwing. I can't remember who it was. Anyway, straight in there. So in Pariah Nexus, Vashtor and some of his legions invade the Rock. They set Luther free, which felt like a pretty weird step forward for the Dark Angels. This is before the Lion was about as well. And then they stole Tetulcha. Okay. So they liberated Tetulcha. So they took... This was really old lore, and not old. It's old for me, not for you. They talk about these different keys, and Tetulcha is supposed to be one of the keys towards opening up the Imperium, in effect. Because effectively it gives them a bit of a cheat code of being able to ignore... Yeah, to get maybe get a lot closer to the palace anyway. So if you go back and you read some of the 30k books, it talks about how Chaos are able to not go through warp points, not go through like warp gates and things like that. They're able to just effectively teleport to wherever they want. They come out to the wall wherever they want, and they're safe, basically. Not safe, but not in danger. So Torchwood may give that option back to Chaos, and so they might be able to do a lot more shenanigans in being able to come out in a lot of different places and push the line in a lot of different places. So I think that's a really good kick, because they've not touched Vashtor since. Like Vashtor, it's a great model. I've got the model somewhere.
It seems to have dropped off the radar, hasn't he, quite a bit since then.
Yeah, like nothing. That all happened, and then nothing happened after that. But the Rock basically got absolutely trashed. They managed to push them back, but like I say, they lost Luther. They lost this Warp Demon. So it feels like there's a big key there that something could happen, which is interesting. The Necrons are an interesting one, because the last thing we heard, they were having a civil war, but we've not really heard anything since then. So that was supposed to be the Stormlord versus the Silent Kings.
King, yeah.
Yeah, so the Silent King is trying to find a way of turning them back from being the soulless Necron back into the Necron tier, and the Stormlord's view is they're perfect as they are and they want to carry on as they are. So there's a big clash there. I don't think we're ever going to see Necron versus Necron in terms of a box or anything like that. They're just not going to sell that many models. But that could be an interesting way. And if somebody gets the upper hand there, he's able to sort of force something. Because when the Silent King came back, he was kind of up for making alliances with the Imperium. Yeah. Because that's the other interesting one, is at the moment we're still very much faction versus faction. When you look at like AOS, they're like, you've got Order, Chaos, Destruction, Death.
Yeah, they're branched into that 4-tier system, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so I wonder whether or not we're going to get something similar. Because if Chaos is pushing too hard, then they could destroy a lot. And the Necrons hate the warp. The Tyranids are the other one. Obviously, they're destroying all the biomass, destroying planets, stuff like that. And so it feels like the Eldar have already kind of joined up with the Imperium, created truces with the Imperium. Obviously, we see Gilliman being brought back, with the help of the Eldari, the Inari, because that's the other one that kind of went quiet very, very quickly. Was the Inari were created? So these were the worshippers of the god of death. And their view was to try and bring the Eldar god of death back, the Eldari god of death back. And actually, when you look at the Inari, they are a conglomeration of Harlequins, Eldari, and Drakari.
Yeah, they're sort of the mix of all three together, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
they're like the old school Eldar.
Would you ever think they will put their differences aside? Especially Harlequins and Eldar, I think they would put their differences aside.
Harlequins don't really have a problem with anybody. That's the thing about the Harlequins. They are completely agnostic.
Aren't they? Pretty much.
Yeah, they serve Segarak, the laughing god. So they don't care. They're there to try and tell the story and try and push everybody along. I don't think you'll ever see a true linkage between Drakari and Eldari. When you look at them, their ethoses are very, very different in the way that they do things. I don't think you'll ever see them joined. But that could be another way, is if the Inari manage to bring back their death god, actually that's quite a significant change. If you see Segarak come back, Inari come back, it's quite a significant change there. So that would be another interesting one, whether or not they step that forward. But they all lean in towards this idea of the fact they're going to have a truce with the Imperium. Votan are well known to do that. Tau are well known to how to create truces with the Imperium every now and again, if there's a bigger threat.
It's like that old saying, isn't it? The enemy of my enemy is my friend, isn't it? Top saying.
Exactly. So when you start to see these sort of groups come together, you're kind of like, well, if Chaos is this big thing, or Tyranids are this big thing, some of these are going to have to join together, and whether that becomes more of a thing, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say, isn't it? It's like, you know where Chaos is heading now they broke through Cadia's gate. Then you know where they're heading is pretty much Terror.
Yeah.
That's where they're heading. Yeah. And you sort of know that. It's like in 40k's universe, in my eyes, there's only potentially two big bad guys. It's the Tyranids and the Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Orcs will be just fight anyone. To be honest, they don't give a toss. To be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's unless it's like, as you said there, it's like where they could potentially catapult the story quite far ahead with that secret key, where they could get on the outskirts of, is it Solar where the Terror is? It's like that, the galaxy
Yeah,
there,
the solar
maybe?
system. Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Get
was
on the edge
effectively
of
the
there.
Milky Way.
Yeah. So they can get on the edge, so they're literally the enemies at the gates, pretty much. That'd be quite cool. But then also, like almost like surrounded on all fronts, pretty much, where the Nids are coming from inside out. So got Gene the cults. That'd be quite cool to have them more empowered, because they're spreading like cancer at the moment.
Oh yeah.
And to have them on Terra itself, that'd be quite an interesting twist, because you would have thought Terra would be this impregnable fortress, but it's very corrupt from the inside. So I thought it's like it's got a cancer in it, definitely. And with the custodians stretched thin as they are, now that they're being given free reign to go out to enforce like the weak points, Terra's quite undefended a little bit now, where than it was previously past when they had like 10,000 custodians and stuff like that. It's not as the powerhouse as it used to be. And I believe Abaddon knows this now, and I'm sure he's got taps of the demon god, not demon, the demon machine guy, whatever his name is, who got the... Yeah, that's it.
Oh, Vashtor, yeah.
Yeah. That he got the key. I'm sure he's got taps on him that he's found it.
Oh, they're working together on it massively. So Abaddon's got one of the keys to torture. Vashtor, in theory, for torturers, it has another one. I think there's supposed to be a third one. I can't remember the lore exactly because I never got the book. But they are working hand in hand.
I believe the Necrons are secretly behind the scenes trying to rebuild the pylons or some new tech, especially the Infinite guy who's got his vault and stuff like that. I'm sure he's got something in his Pokeball, and he'll find something.
Likely,
where he can travel through time and stuff like that. But then it's like, where do you go from here? Where it's quite a greed setup storyline already, because everyone's looking out for themselves. And with where you said they could potentially go into tier system, like the AOS has, like the 4 sections, but where there's such a vast majority than AOS armies has in the 40k, it's kind of hard to, how would you distinguish who goes in what, for example? You know, I'm sure there'll be no other races that will go with Tyranids. So where would they go? You know.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, even when you look at the tiers within AOS, they don't necessarily work together. If you look at like destruction, for example, that's like mostly orcs. They don't necessarily work together, but their aim is to create destruction. Death is kind of all under one. Chaos is all under one, and order is kind of all under one. They'll fight individually, because this is the thing. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to go down the AOS route. Don't want to create loads of allies, but in reality, all the AOS armies play individually. You almost never see a mixed army, just because the rules for it are insane. And so in theory, you just kind of have the same thing as now, but it'd just be a lore thing more than a model thing, I think.
100%. So when you read a novel, and say it's got like Space Marines, you will know there will be potentially other races under that banner, like of the Imperium, like Guard, other chapters, and you can sort of like easy transition between all the other things from the same allegiances, as they all allegiances, under that. Then you can sort of like understand. Okay, it's like for the Stormcast, for example, where you got the Hunters. Is it the Hunters where they've got like a Deepkin, and you got like some other from different races. You've got like like Sylvaneth and stuff like that. And it's like when you look at the Band of Misfits, it's like how is that working together? But they're under the same umbrella, if that makes sense. But when it comes
I
to
guess in
other
AOS,
things,
the Order are kind of counter chaos, if that makes sense. They've all got reasons to be counter each other. So if you look at Death, for example, his big issues with Sigmar, because Sigmar keeps what's his name? What's the god of death?
Nagash.
Nagash hates Sigmar because Sigmar keeps taking the souls that Nagash should have and putting them into his warriors and stuff like that. So there's reasons there, but when you kind of look at Order in the general, it's more we're just trying to survive. So you see quite a lot. If you look at the what are the water elves? I always forget their name. Deepkin. Yeah, they will often take the souls from other Order factions. They don't care about that. They'll often attack other Order based factions and take their souls to keep themselves alive. They'll do that. Yeah. So I think you can still do it, but I'd like to see it a little bit more in the lore where it's a little bit more established. So it's more that they actively work together, because it typically, when you see it in 40k, in the novels in 40k, let's take Blood Angels, Necrons, for example. The Blood Angels and Necrons are fighting each other. They're fighting each other to the death. And then, I think it was the Tyranids appeared.
Yeah.
I think the Tyranids appeared. And basically they just went, truce, kill them. Yep, cool. They both went and killed the Tyranids. Finished and went, you did a really good job. We're just going to go our separate ways now.
Yeah, peace out and see you later, pretty much.
Yeah, so it's almost a coincidental truce rather than a pre-forged one. So the only time I think we've ever really seen a pre-forged truce in 40k, 30k is a lot more complex than that, but in 40k is the fact that the Eldar helped bring Gilliman back. Yeah. The Votan are a bit all over the place. They're mercenaries, so they don't count.
Yeah, but with Votan they can see the corruption inside the Imperium, regardless of who you are, with like Girly Man or whatever. I'm the son of the Emperor. Yeah, so what? But it's like, and Gilliman, I think he said it when he saw like the High Lords of Terror, of what it's become. It's not what the image of what he has. So I believe there could potentially maybe a civil war to the Space Marines, maybe. That'd be quite cool, but try not to go like the Horus Heresy route. Now that you've got all these other factions, then that'd be quite cool to have like to do like a sucker punch swing with the law where no one expected it. There could be some like Primarchs that come back potentially that don't agree how Girly Man's doing it. Well, you don't know how the Lion's going to react when he sees Girly Man, because they haven't met yet.
Yeah.
Because the last time saw him, he was on Dante shit, and that was it.
No, he was teamed up. So this was in the prior Nexus books. He was teamed up back with the Dark Angels because he Forest walked to beat the hell out of Angron with to get beaten on by Angron, but survived because he smashed him in the face with a shield. Yeah, he like the Emperor's shield like absorbs damage and reflects it back on its attacker.
Yeah.
So basically, the Lion lets Angron absolutely wail on this shield, and then just goes back in your face. Yeah, stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. So yeah, that sends Angron back. But so we know that the Lion has met up back with the Dark Angels. That's about as far as we've got.
Yeah, it's a tough one because if we all admit we're here for tell a story, and we like stories and stuff like that. Regardless of who your faction is you play with or whatever, we want to see the storyline go forward and stuff like that. It's like when the Leviathan dropped 10th edition, when they brought the novel out. I feel like when I read that book, it felt the storyline was sort of going forward a bit, and definitely. It sort of put, in my eyes anyway, the Imperium on a huge back foot when, even though these are superhuman Ultramarines trying to hold back this wave of Tyranids, but they couldn't. They knew they failed and stuff like that, and it was quite an eye opener because in the past when we've all read Space Marine books, Marines always win the day, regardless of who they are. There's heroes and stuff like that. And I think that's a big change for GW to admit, or not to admit, but put the Marines on a huge back foot now. You know, there's not all sunshine and rainbows anymore as a Marine and power armor, unfortunately. But yeah, so I feel like they could do that. There's so many avenues you can go down on where it could go, or who we like to see as the potentially poster boys next to Marines. But I feel like it'll probably be Orcs, maybe. It'll be
I have a theory, right? And this is purely based. So this isn't driven by anything lore based. This is purely from a model point of view, right? So, Space Marines wise, we've had our Terminators, we've got loads of Phobos, we've got the sort of standard pattern. What we're really missing, is bikes, right? Land speeders, we've got a few, but bikes, we've not really got that many. Flyers, we've not got that many. Speed, I think we're missing speed from this, right? See where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I see. Magic Webway Portal, yeah.
Magic Webway Portal, we're bringing Jagatai Khan back, right? So White Scars are coming back, right? Where is Jagatai at the moment?
I believe he followed the Dark Elder, didn't he? Like an Archon.
He's following the Dark Eldar. What is the range of Xenos, which has probably had the least? You look at Eldar, they've got a big range refresh. You look at Orcs, they've had recently quite a big range refresh. When you look at all the speed freak type stuff. Votan aren't going to get any love because they just never will, even though I'm desperate for them to get love. It's a real shame, they need to. Tyranids have had like you said, Tyranids have had a relatively recent one. Necrons have had a relatively recent one. When you look at the 8th edition box, that was Necrons, right? Tau, potential, definite potential. But I think if you're bringing back bikes, you're bringing back Jagatai, which I think they should, because I think Jagatai would be an amazing Primarch to bring back. And I think it would be the perfect antagonist against Dark Eldar. That Dark Eldar range needs a massive refresh. For me, I reckon new bikes, new Dark Eldar, and we'll have bikes versus Dark Eldar in the next box. That's my guess.
All right, that'd be interesting.
We've got 2 days, and we'll see if I'm right. And if I'm right, I'm gonna film a little thing being like, look at that, look. Yeah.
Totally left wing. I reckon Tau and Orcs. I reckon
that would be great. I would love that. Yeah.
Or only because I think a lot of people will agree with me. I just want combat crisis suits.
Oh my god!
Crying out for it.
Yes. Yeah.
Just dual wield swords or something like at -2, 2 damage each, at strength 5 or something like that. That'd be epic.
Yeah.
You know, then it gives you something for Farsight to go with.
Farsight is a massive, and from a lore point of view,
combat profile is insane.
Yeah. Like for the last thing I think we heard about Farsight, I'm a little bit out of touch with Tau, but Farsight's now properly defected from the Tau Empire and is his own thing. So yeah, man, like getting proper, because he is like the melee Tau, right? It'd be so cool to get crisis suits that did that. That'd be so cool. And they've got a pattern.
Out of all the 2 characters, I'd like to see the opposite end of the spectrum of the Tau, where you see the Shadow Sun interact with Farsight when they meet, because they're completely poles apart. One's loyal to the Ethereals for some stupid reason, because I think they're all nut jobs.
Indoctrinated,
Yeah. And where Farsight is, I think a lot of Farsight is actually seen the light now. When he across the gulf, he's like, holy crap, this is a total mess. We can't do anything like, oh, can you be our friends? If you don't, it's like, no, we're just going to conquer you, and you will be our friends, and that is it. End of. I feel like, because I did listen to the Patient Hunter. I really need to listen to the Farsight one, where I think it's like 3-4 novels out now. It's like Crisis in Faith and stuff like that. And I feel like they've told his side story quite well, where he's going through up and downs. He was very loyal to the Tau, then it all went sideways when, I think, if I can recall, was where his whole ethereal caste gets wiped out, and they accuse him of it. And he's like, nah, and he's like, I didn't kill him, but no one knows what happened. and stuff like that. And I think that's why he's been excommunicated, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I think he wants to be anyway.
And it's very unorthodox for Tao to get close. He's very against the way of the warrior, as they will say, how Tao will fight and stuff like that. But I feel like that'd be quite a cool lore fluff if them two meet and like had to work together to overcome a threatening opponent, like the Tyranids, for example, or they bump into Gazgol, where Gazgol gets too powerful when he becomes almost like Gork or Mork or whatever. It's
yeah,
like
the prophet. Is he the prophet of Gork? I'm just trying to remember, because obviously there's the AOS one, which is the prophet.
That's
of Mork,
another model
maybe.
I like to see. Where he's pretty much like an iconic character of the Orcs. Now he's like he cannot die. Well, he literally cannot die because they just sewed his head back onto a cyborg body.
He's a weird Orc dreadnought now.
Yeah. And I like to see his model grow and grow, like as he gets bigger through the lore.
I think we're waiting ages to get another Ghazi model, though. That's the problem, is that because we've got one and people love it. Yeah, it's such a great model. People will still buy it and still paint it now. I don't. From a business point of view, I don't think we'll get a new Ghazi model. Which is, same thing. I'd love to see them just build on him more and more. He eventually just becomes a what are they? Lord of Schools? Is that the big? Do you know the big Chaos one? It's like huge. It's
he's on tracks and he's got the gas purses on the back. Yeah.
Just make Gazgul that size. That'd be
yeah. His orc face on the front.
Yeah, just his like face, tiny face, like right in the middle of it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Well, that's interesting.
Totally opposite end of the spectrums. White scars and Elder.
That's my guess. I know people are really big into the idea, because obviously there's quite a few different Primarchs that could come back. Obviously, people are mad for Vulcan, and Heresy seems to be giving Salamanders some love at the minute with the old Saturnine. They're all painted as Salamanders, so people love Vulcan. Dawn, I think if you're right, I think if Terra's under threat, that's going to push to get Dawn back as the siege lord.
Where is he anyway at the moment? Is he crying in the corner still?
Dead. I can't remember what he was fighting on. I think he was fighting Chaos, and all they found were his hands.
Yeah.
So they've got his gauntlets.
He fought against Fulgrim, didn't he? Or something like that. Wasn't it?
Maybe. Fulgrim? I can't remember. I should know that lore, really. I've definitely read about it, but I can't. But they only found his hands.
Yeah.
Because it was retconned, I think. I think originally they didn't find, or they found bones or something. I can't remember what it was, but it was retconned, so it was his hands. But let's be honest, Dawn doesn't need his hands. He can get other ones. It's fine.
Well, yeah. I'm sure he can get some Barnix now.
Exactly. So yeah, people go mad for people go mad for Vulcan. People go mad for Dawn. I think the Khan is the next one for me. I think he'll be the next loyal Primarch.
I reckon.
I love that character.
Everyone's raving for Russ
Russ.
I think. And I feel like GW go, surprise, he's not that. It's like, what? It's like,
well, you would think the recent Space Wolf release would be the perfect time to bring out Russ, surely. So it feels weird.
Like they're gonna save it for the pinnacle point when the 11th comes out. They sort of did that with the Lion, was it? When the Lion came out in 10th, didn't he? Or just
the Lion came out 10th? Yeah, towards the beginning. No, he came out in 9th.
Then that's when they released the teaser for the 10th, didn't they?
Yeah, so they did the 4 prior Nexus books, and Vashtor was one of them. I can't remember who the other ones were. The Lion was one of them, and when that book came out, that's when they brought out the Lion model. And yeah, those 4 books were the last bit, and I think that the Lion was the second to last one. But yeah, they were the very, very end of 9th. So yeah, the Lion was kind of the closing of 9th, start of 10th.
Okay.
I believe. I might be wrong. It's been many, many years. Unfortunately, my brain doesn't work that well.
Oh, no, right. I'll blame the heat.
Yeah.
But so I don't know if you want to potential maybe rule changes, or for me personally, I don't mind the rules as they are or whatever. It's just how you build your force, which is an issue for me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I like don't bring back formations or like all that shit. That was rubbish. It just killed the game in ninth and stuff like that, and they knew it. Just bring back the basic force organisation chart. Bring a bit of structure back to 40k rather than going, here you go. I know I understand why they do it, is you can bring all your toys. And everyone likes bringing all their toys. It's understandable. But just a bit of structure back. You can still play 2k in a force org chart, like 1 HQ, minimum 2 troops. And it just gives you... Because at the moment, people... I know for me personally, with my town, I have not taken... And my guard, for example, I've not taken a single battle line unit. Because why would I? Because there's better stuff in other data sheets, if that makes sense. But I feel like the mission cards I love them. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
They're the best thing they've added to the game since sliced bread, pretty much. And yeah, I think that's the only thing that I would like to change if they decide to change the rules a little bit. But yeah, it's just a force org chart and upgrade points bring back in, so you don't have to like I don't know, with a tank somehow they come with all bells and whistles, like every gun on them, like hunter killers, storm bolters, stubbers.
As you found with the Repulsor Executioner, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I found out when I played my 2k game at like against the Blood Angels when I lost by 10 points. It's like the friggin' Vindicator, like a Vindicator gun, storm bolter, had a hunter killer. All his vehicles had hunter killer missiles on it.
Yeah, why not? They used to be 15 points each. You have to think about taking it. I never used to take them as 15 points for one shot.
What would you... Right, would you rather have armoured facings back, so you've got like 45, 45, and 45. So like Lima Russ, for example, was 14, 13, and 10 on the Lima Russ battle tank. It was different on the Demolisher. Don't ask why. But it was. That'd be quite a cool thing to bring back armor facing again, because that's quite popular in Heresy, where you have armor facing.
I never played it, and I for me it would make the game almost too controversial. Trying to work out, is that because if it's fine if it's obvious, but it's in those moments where it's not so obvious, and some models are in that 45, some models are in that 45, and it's going to add a lot of time into doing that. So I prefer not to have armor facing, because it just adds complexity for the sakes of it. In reality, and like you look at like I don't know, like a knight or something like that, and and how do they work in terms of their 45s? Like it's almost like each part of it's got a different level of armor. With tanks, it almost makes sense because it's kind of a box. But yeah, I think it just had too much complexity for something that actually can be relatively simple. I get it from the time, but if you look at like modern vehicles now, they don't really have. Don't get me wrong. They do have additional armor in some places. If you look at like reactive armor and things like that, that's generally on the front where you're going to get attacked most of the time. But it's not like the back's that much softer. Like the top's not that much softer. The bottoms are, don't get me wrong, but there's no fire arc in that direction, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, for me, I wouldn't bring that back. I'd absolutely agree with you. I'd bring back cost points for different loadouts. Mm-hmm. I think that was a really, really nice part. It really made you think about how you built your list. Don't get me wrong, you tended to get a meta.
Oh, yeah.
But I do wonder if that's because of the rules at the time. I think the rules at the time lent itself quite well towards a meta, whereas actually the rules nowadays kind of are a little bit more flexible in that. I think it's much harder to have a meta these days because it gets changed out so quickly. So yeah, I'd like to see that come back. Do you know what I'd quite like to see? I don't know if they still do it in AOS, but they did in AOS, where your different there were formations or whatever they call it in AOS, but they allow you to create battle line of different things. So they do it now with Company of Hunters and Dark Angels, and maybe a few others, where Outriders become battle line.
Yeah,
I think that would be amazing, because then you're getting a lot more flavour to it, because it means that I've got to take 2 troops. It means I've got to go and take 2 intercessors, but I'm a White Scar army. Why would I run intercessors when Outriders should be my battle line?
Yeah.
So I feel like those
go back to where certain characters made units, troops in certain fields and stuff like that. Yeah. I completely agree with that. 100%. It's like when back in the day where Guard, if you took a tank, I think they had a tank commander. I think you can have a Guard. Then it made Lehman Rush troops.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Back in that, I can't remember now. It's so long. But yeah, 100% agree with that. And maybe you could potentially add flavoured characters like the Emperor's Champion for, say, Crusade, Black Templars was quite a cool, unique model. And sticking with the lore and stuff like that, you had to have him in your army, regardless of the points and stuff like that, because he was the Emperor's Champion and stuff like that. He was always on the battlefield regardless. But yeah, I could see that. Like, have say a White Scars captain on a bike. If you gave him a bike, he'll get like troops for X amount of bikes, or 0 to 1 or 0 to 3 bike units can go troops.
Yeah.
Like if you were in those days where you had a force org chart, certain units you had caps. You only could have like 0 to 1 and stuff like that, which was quite cool. You know, because it stops people in the meta like spamming that one unit. It sort of gave that control back to the game. You know, it wasn't overpowering.
I remember all the time with the Smash captains. They were horrendous. Jump pack captain with a Thunderhammer Storm Shield. They were just broken.
Red face. Yeah,
they were broken. They were so strong.
But it's like when you feel like when you said the bikes will unlock the troops for bikes, because I know where Deathwing specifically, if they have like a Grandmaster? Is it Grandmaster? Deathwing Captain Grandmaster? I can't remember how they word it in Dark Angels.
There's Masters, Grandmasters, yeah.
That's it. Where they unlocked for Deathwing only, that you can have Deathwings as troops. So they
have it. They have it as Company of Hunters. So the Company of Hunter detachment allows Outriders to be considered battle line, which means you can take 6 of them rather than be limited to 3.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So for me, that's good. If you do a detachment base, or you can do a character. If you take Kuroso Khan on a bike, because let's be honest, they need to release him on a bike. Take Kuroso Khan, it makes Outriders troops, or it makes Outriders battle line, or whatever they want to call it. So you can either take more of them, or they fulfill that role. Like you say, if you say you have to take a minimum 2 battle line, you have to. Well, you can go, okay, I'll bring Kuroso Khan. So you're almost paying a tax to have to bring that character.
Yeah. But
it means actually now you can fill that role with Outriders instead.
Yeah, I can make that. It's like, I feel like at the moment, I think out of all the races, the Marines are not rude, but quite bland as they are now. They're not. So when you take a detachment like your one, for example, is it
Siege Anvil? Yeah.
Siege Anvil. When you look at Siege Anvil, you think like Vindicators, siege vehicles, but there's no, apart from them two and probably Whirlwinds, you don't see anything of these days, the Whirlwinds.
No, they were quite strong at the start of 11th, if I remember. Vindicators now are the go-to. Repulsor Executioners are quite strong, but in Iron Storm, I think it's called, rather than Siege Anvil. But yeah, you're right. It's the meta. You do get meta with tanks now. It's really specific.
Yeah, I feel like where the Marines have been, they've got such a variety. I feel they've lost their character in a way. They don't feel like Marines anymore. So I feel like, I think I've read somewhere where Marines were becoming like horde armies now. There's so much of them now.
Yeah, you saw mine. I took like 50 odd Marines.
Yeah, you almost kept that with me and my numbers and my horses.
Yeah, I wasn't far off.
it should have been the other way around. If you want to stick to the lore, I'm not saying being Space Marine Hero Hammer, or whatever, but sort of like put the pen to paper, and the stats don't match at the moment. But I don't feel like we will get a hard reset with the 11th edition, in my honest opinion.
I think to do that, and I've said this before, and it's relatively controversial. If you wanted to be slightly more lore based on the tabletop, you'd need to move away from a D6 game. The D6 at the moment limits what you can do in terms of your toughness and strength and stuff like that, especially the way they do it at the moment. Like with the whole, if strength matches toughness, it's a 4 and yada yada yada. If you want to do that, you need to change away from a D6. It doesn't have to be like a D20 or anything like that. You can move it to a D12 or stuff like that. Other games do it. That would be a very fundamental shift for Warhammer, given it's basically always been a D6 game, right? Like, that would be a huge change for Warhammer. They would be a complete rewrite of all the rules. So I don't think we're going to see that happen. So that's always going to limit what they can do in terms of being lore accurate for tabletop.
Yeah, it's like they've made their bed and they don't want to change for the masses, unfortunately, because especially with 40k, it's so old now with 40k, and we know what humanity's like. That people don't like change.
No.
And well, it just shows with the AOS and Warhammer Fantasy, when that suddenly changed out of the blue, no one was expecting it, and it just happened. You know, because when the End Times came out, everyone just thought, it was cool. Projects the lore forward. This is really unique. Then people start realising it's almost like Game of Thrones, where characters are dying, and
everyone's dying. Everyone's dead.
Oh dear, this is not good. You know, and and I think when the Skaven one came out, where Skaven eventually became a god after all this time trying to become a god. And I think everyone knew that was it. It was all downhill.
Yeah.
You know? It was like, and I feel like they won't do that to their baby, which is 40k. It's always been their baby.
It's too successful. It's way too successful.
And
way too
it just
successful
goes with the competitive scene.
Yeah.
I feel the competitive. Don't get me wrong. I love being competitive. I've been to enough tournaments this year. I think I'll be about 5. I think this year. I like being competitive, but I feel like the competitive has too much of a vice grip on 40k.
It's probably one of the most competitive tabletop games in the world, if not the most competitive tabletop game in the world. In terms of popularity.
Las Vegas Open, the biggest tournaments in the world, holding like 800 people, whatever. It's ridiculous. And unlike us two majorities over here that love the lore and just rather take what we like and just make a story on the battlefield rather than cutthroats and take names later, you know. But yeah, it will be interesting to see, but I don't think they'll reveal it over this weekend. I'll be very surprised if they do.
We'll see. Then again, they've just released Horus Heresy. Well, they're just releasing Horus Heresy 3.0, which, by the way, I'm going to throw this out there. If you've not seen the Kieran Show episode where they paint their Saturnine box in 24 hours, it's over 2 days, but 24 hours, go and watch it. It's so good. They smash it out of the park. They do an amazing job. I messaged them today because I watched it today, and I really didn't like those Saturnine Terminators when I first saw them. Since I've been seeing more and more people's versions of them and seeing Kieran's version of them, they look fantastic. They look really, really nice. So yeah, if you're into Heresy, which obviously there's a lot of people are, go check out that video. It's really, really good. That's the Kieran Show's really, really good video. It's not that long, so it won't take you long to watch it. But yeah, genuinely, their paint jobs. I mean, Kieran.
Have you seen the Space Wolves? Jesus Christ.
I mean, Space Wolves is incredible, but he paints his Saturnine as Thousand Suns, so he's got a big Heresy Thousand Suns. So the red he's got there is beautiful. The way this painting is beautiful. The other Kieran did Imperial Fists with the other half of the box. They look incredible, absolutely incredible. For 24 hours, they did an incredible job.
Okay.
Complete tangent there.
I have to watch that.
Yeah, really, genuinely,
Well,
really good video.
I feel this whole episode's been a tangent. We went from left, right,
Oh yeah,
mid, but it's typical
yeah.
standard.
That's what 11th edition will do. Yeah, so maybe you're right. Maybe in a couple of days they won't talk about that. Well, it'll be like a week ago by the time this comes out. Maybe they won't talk about that because it's so close to Heresy 3.0. It is coming,
God
though.
forbid.
It is coming. 11th is coming.
You can know what's going to happen. Well, Instagram feed is just going to blow up.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, you had insider information when you guessed White Scars versus Dark Eldar. Yeah, you're going to get a whole new Dark Eldar range. There's going to be a whole new Drukhari range. There's going to be new bikes. They're going to replace loads. They're going to bring out new land speeders. They're going to bring out new tanks. They're going to bring out a new flyer. And they're going to bring out... They won't bring him out... Plastic Thunderhawk is finally coming. And Khan's going to drop out the back of it. That's what's going to happen. Khan won't come out straight away. They'll do the box without Khan in, but they will bring him out pretty soon after. That's my guess.
You've heard it first.
Yeah, I kind of hope. I'd love to have Gorosei Khan. I think I really like the Outriders and the ATVs. I think
paint white.
Oh no, I'd paint them in my custom chapter. I'm not painting them white. They'd be custom chapter. But yeah, I love the bikes. I don't know how they work in 40k. I think it's an insane thing. I think they are slightly less insane than horses. I think horses are possibly the most insane thing in 40k. Let's be honest, you don't really see many horses in this century of warfare because guess what? They die pretty damn quickly to modern warfare techniques. Yeah. Funnily enough, when you put a machine gun against a horse, the horse generally doesn't survive very quickly.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't understand how the bikes work, but I love them. So more bikes. Bring out Khan. Yeah. Bring out bikes.
Especially when they need more accessories. Back in the day, where you could have power weapons, melt guns, and stuff like that, and just jazz them up a bit.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like, yeah, the ATV is good. Don't get me wrong. I know loads of people hate the ATV. I don't mind it so much. I love the Outriders, but yeah, bring back more weapons on them, different land speeders, and light support things. So do you know like the Votan Sagittar things, whatever they're called, like smaller fast vehicles.
Yeah, it's like
sort of like land speeders.
Like a Razorback type style thing.
Yeah.
But I remember there was Razorback back in the day when everyone just took Razorbacks because it was a cheap transport and it had a big gun. You can have a las cannon on it.
Yeah, it was cheap las cannon. You could bring you support your guys with. Yeah, it made sense.
Yeah, but no. Well, that's an interesting way to end a podcast.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I would.
Oh God.
I'd love to hear other people's opinions on it. So if you do have an opinion on it, stick it in the comments. Go on Instagram, stick it on Instagrams. Bombard me, tell me how many times I've been wrong, and Dave needs to be right because Tau versus Orcs would be amazing.
Yeah, it'd be quite cool to see a different poster boy.
Yeah. But
we know what's going to happen.
God, could you imagine Tau being the poster boy? The community would lose their mind.
Yeah, the amount of memes I'll be seeing.
Oh, God, yeah. People would absolutely explode if Tau became the poster boy of 40k.
But it'd be some cool artwork, though. That'd be amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah. So, who do you think? White Scars and Dark Eldar or Tau versus Orcs?
When this video goes out, we'll have to put up a story and see who agrees with which.
Yeah, I think I know it's going to be a landslide because I'm fighting an uphill battle here. So I think
you might. I'll be honest. I've gone with the history of GW and keeping their poster boys, but yeah, I think I'd prefer your idea.
Yeah, I like my idea too. It's great.
Yeah. All right. What are we talking about next week? The next episode.
Next week will be Chaos Gods. Is it ranking our Chaos Gods?
Let's rank our Chaos Gods. We've done it with Primarchs. Let's do it with Chaos Gods.
Oh, jinx. We've done Primarchs, and so I feel like this will be a good subject because I think me and Ben will be on the opposite fence, I would say.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
But I feel like we'll probably have to. Probably the fourth one will be the same place, but the top three will probably be slightly different, I reckon. but who knows? But we'll have to wait and see in next
See in
2
2
weeks.
weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. Shall we call it a night and say cheerio?
Yeah, obviously, we hope that you've enjoyed this episode as much as we have. I've really enjoyed this one. It's been a really interesting conversation. So, drop your thoughts and comments on it in the comments below, or wherever you find it. Please leave a review, subscribe, all of that jazz. It really helps us out. It helps us sort of push on with the podcast and the stuff coming in the future. We've got some really big ideas about other stuff we'd like to do in the future beyond just the podcast, and hopefully as we sort of be able to grow and get a bit more time to be able to do it, it'd be good. So yeah,
100%.
I think that's it. I think that's the outro done.
Yeah.
I'm first round wargaming.
Yeah. I'm Dave _ Hobby Corner. So all our affiliates links, or not affiliate links, but our links for our Instagram will be in this post and stuff. So yeah, just what Ben did there. So if you want comment, criticisms, we love it. So just help us grow, as Elf said. What is that? It's just great YouTube. Ben's got to edit all this.
Yeah. Right, we'll see you next time.
Right, cheerio. Bye.